Is your risk management adding value? How do you know? Our vision at Risk Tools is to ensure that risk management adds value and, importantly, that it is measured. But why is value so important? Whether you are considering risk management or any other business process, it should add value. If it does not, why undertake it? Process developers often don't realize the importance of value. There are many situations where nice-to-haves are added with little or no value, and that wastes users' time. The result, users become disenchanted and pay lip service to the process. Hi, my name is Gavin Halling, founder of Risk Tools, and I'm really excited about this video as it enables improvements arising from implementing previous stages to be progressively measured. It's where the rubber hits the road, as it were. So before making any improvements, use these measures to assess your current situation for use as a baseline. As you undertake improvements, remeasuring will demonstrate value and help garner support for taking the initiatives in this playbook further and wider. I should quickly mention, for those who have jumped straight to stage 5, the term project is used throughout this playbook and refers to strategic plans, business cases, or any other initiative working towards an objective. So what's value? It's a combination of efficiency and effectiveness. Both are heavily intertwined, but efficiency normally requires measuring time, whereas the focus of effectiveness is measuring outcomes. An easy place to start is measuring the efficiency of workshops. Workshops are particularly useful as improvement in any of the steps in stages 1 to 3 will be reflected in the results. Consider this. For the reasons described in stage 1, there are 2 types of risk workshop: identification and treatments. These should be measured separately but can use similar measures, namely the average time to identify and analyze a risk and the average time to identify a treatment. A similar measure would be the average risks and average treatments per workshop participant, noting this is not applicable to any particular individual. I should also add that treatments often apply to more than one risk, and when repeats occur, they should be included, as this picks up on toolset efficiency. It is often possible to calculate baseline values using data from a recently completed risk workshop. In your next workshop, split it as outlined in stage 1. That simple step alone will improve efficiency. Participants in turn will appreciate their time being valued and be more likely to participate proactively in subsequent workshops. Moving next to effectiveness. Risk is defined as the effect of uncertainty on objectives, ISO 31000. Hence, as risk management improves, the achievement of objectives will also improve. One property of SMART objectives is time, and the planned versus actual completion date is a straightforward measure of effectiveness. Grouping projects so the total percentage across, say, a business unit helps to reduce the impact of outliers. The M in SMART is measurables, so there should be a measure in addition to time that will be unique. A project may have several objectives and each should have a unique measure, any of which is likely to be affected if risks are not being managed well. Issues arise in any project, some of which could have been foreseen and managed as a risk. The last measure is a good indicator of how well risks were identified. These measures work for any initiative. If you are undertaking projects where work is contracted out, managing costs to an approved budget will be important. Here are 3 cost management measures. The first gives the potential savings for one variation that could have been managed as a risk. Anecdotal evidence and research demonstrate that good risk management results in at least 80% of risk being identified before starting implementation. The link on this slide is accessible on the Risk Tools website. Although it is a crude measure, it does indicate potential savings and can be a great driver for any funding that may be required to improve risk management. The second measure provides a good baseline using a recent past project or 2. Good risk management should result in more risks being identified and mitigated, with the outcome being fewer variations. Finally, measure 3 is powerful as it can form the basis of a KPI to promote proactive management of risk and uncertain costs, all of which are under the control of the project team. This is described in more detail in our Project Cost Uncertainty Playbook. The measures so far have reflected an individual project. Value can also be assessed based on roles and management level. What is your role? Pause the video and reflect on what you would put in place to measure improvements. A review of completion reports can be helpful. The key is to consider measures that can form an initial baseline and then be re-measured as improvements are undertaken. Nearly all measurements will be improved with a suitable toolset, and that leads to a final measurement step. Here is a sheet so you can assess whether a toolset would be of value to you. There is also a link at the top of the page 8 where you can download and print this PDF sheet. The result is normally an immediate positive and often multiple return on investment. Asking your colleagues to complete the sheet will demonstrate wider value as well as helping to garner their support for any improvement initiatives. So where to now? If you believe that the contents of this playbook will add value to you, then page 8 suggests 3 approaches starting with DIY, or do it yourself. Consider which approach would work best for you. Finally, keep in touch. It would be good to hear how you progress with your risk management, adding measurable value to you and your organisation.